people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy.
Okay, we'll start with this. An update on what's supposed to be the Sky Nicholson versus Mio Yoshida fight. It would seem that Mio has enlisted the aid of Melissa Parker in preparation for the Nicholson fight. Not a bad choice in a sparring partner, as their physical dimensions are somewhat similar, and Melissa Parker, like Sky Nicholson, is a southpaw. She leads with the right in order to set up the left. In sparring, could she mimic Sky Nicholson?
No, I would say she can, because all she's got to do to mimic Sky is stick the jab out there, keep sticking it out there, stay on the outside, on the move, use plenty of pivots and plenty of check hooks.
That is Sky Nicholson's signature, the pivot and the check hook along with it. It was a month ago, following Ellie Scottney's decision to vacate the WBC title, that Sky Nicholson was elevated to full champion. And as full champion, terms had been agreed for Sky to face Mio Yoshida next. The fight date and official details haven't been officially announced, but we know it's en route. We know that it's coming.
It's been a month.
Sky Nicholson sports a professional record of 16 wins with 1 loss and no draws, 3 knockouts, having never been knocked out in 17 professional bouts, currently on a 2-fight winning streak after having dropped a decision to Tiara Brown in the featherweight division. Having since moved down in weight to super bantamweight, Sky appears a stronger and more assertive puncher as a 122-pounder than she did a 126-pounder, but her base style, it hasn't changed.
She is still mostly an outboxer, a pure boxer.
Though having very generous physical dimensions for a super bantamweight, she is landing with more authority there, and she is set to face Mio Yoshida, who sports professional record of 19 wins with 5 losses and no draws, only 1 recorded knockout, having never been knocked out. In 24 professional bouts, currently on a 2-fight winning streak against some very pedestrian-level opponents in Beata Dudek and Edith De Jesus Flores, who she faced earlier this year in April. So, the night of the Nicholson fight, she won't have any ring rust to shake off, though she will still be the significantly older fighter.
She's got about 8 years on Sky Nicholson. Mio Yoshida is 38 years old, coming up on 40, whereas Sky Nicholson is a very spry 30 years old.
Sky Nicholson, who was last in action in April of this year, the same as Mio Yoshida, they're keeping a very similar schedule of fights.
Mio fought in April, Sky fought in April.
It will be a night of firsts for the defending champion. It will be her first fight of her newly inked Matchroom extension, her first fight as a 2-division WBC champion.
Fast.
And I like Sky Nicholson's chances in this one. I think Mio Yoshida has some of the right ingredients to make Sky work for it, but not all of them, and that's what's going to cost her. She's got the aggression, she's got the volume, and the proximity. Mio is a mid-range to inside fighter, but what she's lacking is the foot speed, the athleticism to keep up with and keep on Sky Nicholson. So this fight is probably going to look a lot like Mio's first fight with Sharita Metcalf.
Sharita, who is an outboxer the same as Sky Nicholson is an outboxer, a long-range fighter.
In their initial meeting, Sharita Metcalf was able to win a decisive victory over Mio Yoshida.
Now, in the second fight, she got a gift.
Which is another story, but I expect that Mio's fight with Sky is going to look a lot like her first fight with Sharita.
She's going to be a step behind.
The best way to describe Mio Yoshida is as a mid-range to inside pressure fighter, because that's what she applies. She applies pressure. And normally, pressure fighters have got the drop on pure boxers. Normally they do.
But if there is a discrepancy in the level at which they compete,
say you've got a high-level pure boxer and a low-level pressure fighter, the pure boxer wins.
Think Mio is a low-level pressure fighter?
She is missing a few key ingredients. I've seen a lot of Mio Yoshida in action over the years, and her activity within a round, it's more like flurries, than combinations.
Disorganized punches, punches for the sake of punches, leaping in, lunging in, leaning over your lead foot. There's not much in terms of fundamentals there.
Pressure fighter, without the fundamentals and without the foot speed, is tantamount to just a brawler, a mauler, a low-level pressure fighter. So if Mio Yoshida is a C+ to a B- pressure fighter, Sky Nicholson would be a B+ to an A- pure boxer. The level at which they compete matters just as much as their base styles, and I don't think Mio is on the level of a Sky Nicholson.
Sky's gonna outbox her.
Because Mio Yoshida's got a mean streak, she can make things interesting in spots, though overall, the logical pick is Sky Nicholson to outmaneuver and out-hustle Mio Yoshida.
Elsewhere in the world of boxing, world of social media, I should say, as Gervonta Davis spends more time there than in the boxing ring in a boxing gym, Gervonta took to his Instagram stories and said, "I saw a guy that had the world in the palm of his hands lose it all because he wanted to dick eat another guy that didn't even have his best interests in mind. Turns around and turns into a big hater. You could never be me, loser." This Instagram story is being perceived as a shot at Gervonta Davis's old drinking buddy, Adrian Broner.
It's the word on the street!
Yeah, that's the tune the junkies are singing, the boxing junkies. They're interpreting this as Gervonta Davis taking shots at Adrian Broner. We don't know why. We don't know what conversations they did or didn't have behind the scenes, what altercations, what may have led Gervonta to take a shot at his old buddy. They were palling around on the streams not that long ago.
With Dean the Great.
What could have happened between then and now that would have caused Gervonta to do this? I don't know. In a very general sense, friends have falling outs all the time.
Jesus fucking Christ, this is the most news this idiot ever makes. What he says online, what he says on his social media. He should just go all in and become a streamer.
Is he wrong about Adrian, though? That he did have the palm of his hands, and for love of Floyd Mayweather, who we all know Gervonta Davis was talking about. If Adrian was dick-eating anybody, he was dick-eating Floyd. A lot of guys still do.
My recent video about Cameron's interview with Floyd and how Floyd owes a lot of people a lot of money. You had a guy who goes by the name BAGD1UB say, another goofball platform that doesn't know shit about boxing.
Oh, but I suppose you do, right?
Floyd is still TBE.
Yeah, we weren't actually talking about Floyd's ability to box in that video. We were talking about him owing the IRS over $7 million, CSI Fight Sports several more millions, all these different people that he owes money. That was the subject of the video, and all of the events he had on schedule that have since been canceled. We weren't talking about Floyd's boxing, and the only reason you are is because you don't want to address all that stuff. Another guy dick-eating Floyd Mayweather, just like Adrian Broner. There is something to what Gervonta Davis said about him. With all the dick-eating. A lot of dick-eating in the quote-unquote culture, as they like to call it. Well, that's because dick-eating is a part of the culture.
It's baked in like a meatloaf. Here you have a random guy getting upset at me that I'm talking about all these people that Floyd owes money, but it's not my imagination. It's not something that I made up. Hey, Floyd Mayweather's the one suing Al Heyman for $340 million and Jonah Rechnitz for another $175 million. If you put those two numbers together, that's roughly $500 million.
I'm not the one saying they stole that from him. He's the one saying they stole that from him. So when a guy says they stole $500 million from him, why are you mad I said he's broke?
When you see how many lawsuits have been filed against him, all these different people that he owes money, including the IRS who he owes millions, and CSI Fight Sports, when you see that all of his events for this year have now been canceled, why the fuck are you getting mad at me for pointing it out?
Because you're a dick eater, just like Broner. It's part of your culture.
Following a guy around to smell his cologne and bounce his balls off your chin.
You're a dick eater.
Just like Broner. I lost count to how many times I was about to throw up in my own mouth in Adrian Broner's prime, when he used to refer to Floyd as Big Bro.
Not your fucking big bro.
The problem with a lot of guys like Broner, and the guy in my comment section getting mad at me, is they got absentee fathers. They didn't have anybody around to teach them how to be a man.
So these are the guys that get around another guy and act like a woman.
Getting all fucking googly-eyed and defensive. What the fuck are you doing? Standing by your man?
Floyd is TBE.
Get off his fucking dick. You only idolize the guy because of how much money he made, and you're only counting his money for him because you think like a woman.
Didn't learn how to be a man because nobody taught you.
That's how you can explain the Adrian Broners of the world and how they idolize other men. It's one thing to have a mentor, and it's one thing to be inspired by someone else's greatness, but it's quite another thing to bounce a guy's mushroom tip off your forehead based on what is his success, to the point that you're letting him disrespect you.
Adrian Broner used to worship the fucking guy. What Gervonta Davis said, as much as I don't like him, it's true.
Adrian Broner is a dick eater. But he's not the only one. Not the only one dick-eating Floyd. And in a very general sense, Floyd ain't the only one with dick eaters. It's a culture thing.
These guys are buck-breaking each other.
Isn't that what it's called? Isn't that what it is? Subjugation. You guys are spreading your proverbial assholes at the altar of some other guy, some other man, the way a woman would, because your reference for a man is a woman.
Don't know how to be a man. Nobody taught you.
Big bro.
Get off his dick.
It happens in the sport of boxing like it happens in the music industry. Like you see it on varying levels day to day. It is consistent with the culture. It's embedded, surfacing in spots. Why do you think Adrian Broner was seen hugging up on Gervonta Davis, blowing kisses at him? And why did he try to make out with Dean the Great during one of their live streams?
He's buck broken.
Adrian Broner got his butt broken by Al Heyman. Found out that he liked it, and now he's in the closet with the winter coats and winter sweaters. Telling me that you're missing all this stuff? It goes right over your head, how it slips out. Adrian Broner likes to play hide the peanut butter, and it's because somebody played that game with him. He's buck broken. He got his butt broken. Now he wants to break Dean the Great's. He probably already broke Gervonta's. I suppose that Gervonta Davis is in some way throwing stones in a glass house because, yeah, Adrian Broner used to dick eat Floyd. But you did too, that's why you signed to him.
Could have signed with somebody else. Why did you sign to Floyd? Don't pretend you didn't idolize him. The same as Adrian Broner.
Gobble gobble, cocksucker.
You were gobbling dick and balls just as much as Adrian Broner at one point. You guys are fucking losers, man.
In a general sense, it's a loser's mindset. People don't think it is right away, not on the surface when they see how much money these guys are making, never taking account of how much money these guys end up losing, burning through.
Just to end up broken down and beaten like everybody else. They're fucking losers!
You're thinking to yourself, how are you calling those guys losers when they've made more money than you'll ever see, perhaps? But nobody's about to fuck me in my ass.
I ain't buck broken like you guys. I ain't about to get my butt broken.
That's what you've got to do to get ahead. No gracias.
Just in keeping with the theme of Floyd Mayweather's former acolytes, one who I've got a lot of respect for, former Money Team World Champion and brutal Floyd Mayweather taunt.
Former champion Ishe Smith.
Former Money Team World Champion once said he'd always have Floyd Mayweather's back following recent legal proceedings and reported financial issues surrounding the 5-weight world champion. Sugar Shea has changed his stance. Smith, who became the first world champion from Las Vegas under the Mayweather Promotions banner, reacted on social media after the latest headlines involving his former mentor. Smith spoke to World Boxing News several times during his career and, for most of that time, stood firmly behind Mayweather.
Till he came to his senses. Until he woke up. The way any real man does.
When Floyd Mayweather's friendship with Curtis 50 Cent Jackson collapsed in 2012, Smith refused to be drawn into the dispute. My loyalty will always be with Floyd, Leonard Ellaby, and Mayweather Promotions, Smith told World Boxing News. I've known him since I was 10 years old. I will always have his back, in and out the ring. The comments reflected the strength of his relationship with Mayweather at the time, with Smith crediting the setup for helping him rebuild his career and guiding him to an IBF super welterweight title when he defeated Cornelius Bundridge in 2013.
I wonder what changed.
The loyalty eventually faded. By 2022, Smith had publicly criticized Mayweather over his handling of Gervonta Davis and questioned the environment inside the Money Team setup. The love isn't pure. Once you realize that, you separate yourself from people, Smith said at the time. He doesn't want you doing better than him. Period. The former Contender star also expressed surprise that Davis remained under Mayweather Promotions for as long as he did. Smith is now among a growing list of former fighters to distance themselves from Mayweather. The few remaining from the original Money Team circle still publicly aligned with him. After recent legal proceedings involving Mayweather and continued discussion surrounding his reported financial situation, Smith posted a brief message on social media. "I made smart investments," quote unquote. One of Floyd's signature lines, likely one that he got from Al Heyman. Whenever anybody asks, how did he get all his money and what's he doing with it, that's what Al Heyman told him to say. We now know there was never any substance to that.
Though we've spent enough time talking about Floyd Mayweather's diminishing finances, this is about Ishe and his decision to break away from Floyd Mayweather.
Why do I respect Ishe? Because Ishe woke up. It's sort of a coming of age for any man that is a man.
Come on.
A rite of passage. Once you finally realize you're all on your own, and it's all up to you, nobody's gonna come save you, and you shouldn't want them to.
Come on.
The way that Adrian Broner for so many years was waiting on Floyd Mayweather to swoop in and save him, rub his belly, and give him cuddles.
Not Ishe. Ishe woke up a long time ago and started calling out the bullshit a long time ago. He very recently started working for the Postal Service as a postman, and that made me respect him even more, that he's not sitting at home, sitting by the phone,
Sulking.
reminiscing about his former glory as a pugilist. He moved on.
Takes courage to do that. That's something that a man would do.
A man.
I think it took courage for Ishe Smith to start calling out Floyd Mayweather's bullshit at a time when it wasn't exactly popular to do so. He's been doing it for a while, before a lot of people.
It takes courage to stand on your own square. Stand apart from the mob. Don't fall in line with everybody else, even if that is what everybody else is doing. Asserting your independence is an essential rite of passage for any man that is a man.
Because he's not enamored with Floyd Mayweather like Adrian Broner was for so many years. The idea that Floyd's gonna take him under his wing and take care of him and love him.
The fuck? My buddy. Wherever he goes, I'm gonna go.
That's how a child's mind works. That's how a little boy thinks, not a grown man.
For those that are younger than myself and still going through this life, here is a piece of advice. You can admire someone for what they managed to accomplish, but don't build them an altar. Don't make them an idol.
The flesh is weak.
Don't like anybody too much, because you and your life and all that that encompasses is up to you. How you want things to go, how you want things to be. Nobody's gonna come in and save you.
And be wary of anybody who promises they can.
As there is no such thing as a free lunch. What does it cost you to hand over your independence to someone else?
And that's what you're doing when you identify another man, another human being, as being your savior?
Sell your soul for material possessions.
What a momentary pleasures is some things are worth a lot more. And you come to realize that over time.
Time.